What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, we're going to do a little bit of work on the 2022 Vitpilen 401. I finally got my Ergo seat, my Husqvarna Ergo seat. It's the OEM, like OEM Plus seat for these bikes. I actually ordered this seat back in September 2022 from AOMC. They kept pushing out the expected ship date, and that has nothing to do with AOMC. They're super great to deal with. Pretty much all my OEM Plus parts that I bought for the Husqvarna have come from AOMC, so I have no issues with them. They're always super nice, super good service, always get back to you right away. It's more of a Husqvarna issue. So Husqvarna kept pushing out the expected ship date. So the lead time would just keep getting pushed out a month, 2 months at a time, until I get to now, end of May, almost June. The lead time got pushed out again. So kind of started getting frustrated again, not with AOMC, just with the situation in general. I mean, I don't want to wait 9 months to get a seat, right? So I ended up finding an Ergo seat on eBay from Everett Power Sports, which they're in Washington. It was more than AOMC's price at the time. Again, not really a fair comparison because when I ordered my seat from AOMC, that was last year, right? So I'm not trying to say that Everett Motorsports was, jacked their price up or anything like that. I think it's just a difference in cost because it's 2023 now. When I ordered the other seat, it's 2022. But I did get it. Here it is. So today I'll kind of show you the little details. I'll show you the differences between the original seat and the Ergo seat, differences in quality and so forth. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. There it is, the OEM Ergo seat for the 21 to 23 Vitpilen 401s. Just a quick note, if you have an older Vitpilen, this will not fit on your bike. The older Vitpilens have a little bit shorter tail section, so for this to work on your bike has to be a 21 and newer. But here it is, finally here. I ordered this in September. It's pretty much June by now, and I just got it. So it's an 8.5, 9 month wait to get this thing. But yeah, so I mean, it looks pretty much just like it does in the pictures. In a moment here, I'll get it side by side with the old seat so we can really compare it. But yeah, I mean, there it is. Here it is next to the original seat. And one thing I'll note just real quick, my original seat, I get these, there were a few times where I just was being sloppy, throwing my leg over the bike, and I let the sole of my shoe kind of rub on the seat, and it put these permanent, I cannot get these scuffs out of the seat, which kind of sucks because it's almost like my shoe just kind of grazed over the seat, and it just doesn't take much to damage the stock seat, which kind of sucks. But the OEM seat, it's decent, but this new one, I would say most would agree, looks a little bit better. Quick note, I'm noticing here on camera, it doesn't really show up super well, but the texture and the color of the new seat is a little bit different than the old one. So the new seat, the texture is a lot smoother than the prior one. There's really no texture to it at all. It's just perfectly smooth, it almost feels like a, like how a seal would feel or something like that. And the black is a little bit different too. It doesn't come through very well on camera, but the black on the new seat, on the Ergo seat, is a little more gray than the old one, which I don't know if I'm a super big fan of that, but there is a slight color difference. It has like this, I don't know, this fake micro suede stuff or Alcantara. It's not as plush, surprisingly, as on the original seat. So on the original seat, you have this black section here with this like fake Alcantara stuff on it. This is actually more plush than the new seat, which is kind of disappointing. This stuff is kind of it feels kind of cheap. It almost feels like a cheap pair of shoes, cheap pair of micro suede shoes. But I guess it's not a big deal. Maybe they did this because it will hold up better than actual Alcantara will. I don't know. but just a note there. Other than that, you see it's got the nice Vitpilen on the back of the seat, which I think is a super nice touch. I like it a lot better than the original seat, which had absolutely nothing. So this is a nice look. I like this a lot. And that little yellow kind of signature Husqvarna stripe, it is embroidered, which is super nice. So I do like that they did that. As far as height goes, it's really tough to tell. It might be, I mean, it might be slightly higher and slightly wider, but if there is a difference, it's not appreciable. It's not by much. If there is a difference at all, I'll try to, maybe take a measurement later on. But yeah, I mean, if there is a difference, it's not much. It's not gonna make or break it or anything like that. This is the underside of both seats. As you can see, the shell itself, they look to be the exact same part on the original seat and the Ergo seat. It looks exactly the same. The little rubber pads, they look exactly the same. So it appears it's just the pad and the well, you know what? The pad also, I don't see any difference in height. So the pad is probably the same as well. Let me take a little bit closer look here. Actually, you know what? I think the pad is a little bit different. I think it's a little bit thicker on the Ergo seat, but not by much. Yeah, I think it's slightly different. Even on the Ergo seat, it has this spot on your people with Vitpilens, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's a spot in the seat where the material is loose, and the Ergo seat is that same way. Right, so there's a little bit of dead space between the material and the foam. It's the same on both seats, but yeah, it seems like there's a little bit more foam on the Ergo seat, but most of the changes are just the actual skin itself. It's just this exterior part. Of course, we'll have to switch the emblems over, but that's no big deal. That just takes a second. They just kind of unclip, very self-explanatory. And again, you can see my original seat, you could see where it got scratched from my shoe. Hopefully this new seat is a little bit more durable than that, but I'm kind of thinking it's not, especially with this matte material. Matte material tends to scratch super easy, but all right, I'm gonna go ahead and switch the emblems over and throw it on real quick. Switching the emblems over, super easy. There's just these little tabs here. Husqvarna actually made it 20 times easier because they actually put a little tab. You can see it's like a little half moon tab. You'll see it on your seat. Makes it a little bit easier to pinch it, but basically just pinch it, and then it's gonna be hard for me to do it on camera, but basically just pinch it, and then the emblem will come out. Once you get the emblems off, these little monikers, again, super easy. You just squeeze these little tabs right here. You can see, squeeze the little tabs, pull them out, but yeah, really not much to them. They're made out of some type of nylon. You put them back on the new seat. Super easy. You're just gonna kind of slip them in this way, and that'll be it. There it is, all installed. Install is just, again, the frame part, the bottom part, it's the same as the OEM seat, so or not OEM seat, the original seat. So it installs the exact same way. Just kind of slide it forward, and then lock the pin in the back, and that's it. But yeah, so there it is. It's installed. Kind of a cool look. Again, I'm not. This is just typical Husqvarna. I'm not super happy with the quality. It looks cool, but the quality is kind of sucks. But then again, this seat, it's not very expensive either. I think it's $150 or something. It's not very much, so I guess I can't be too mad. But again, just little things that Husqvarna does, it just kind of annoys me, like, how this kind of stuff fits. I can see, it's hard to get on camera, but I can actually see that the foam part here is not shaped the way that it's supposed to. And now my emblem fits like that. So other side fits perfect, right? Fits nice and tight, looks just like the original seat, but I can see since this is misshapen for whatever reason, this now fits like that. So there's a little Husqvarna stuff. I mean, it's just another Husqvarna thing, but it did go on there. There it is. It does clip on. Freaking 9 months later, there it is. Okay, and then there it is. So all put together now. I think for the most part, this is probably, trying to get it on camera. This is probably going to be the final iteration of this bike. I've been thinking about maybe putting Taiga rear sets on it, but I don't know if I want to spend the $400 something on that. Plus I need, I think I need an OEM bolt or two from a different year, Husqvarna for a KTM or something like that. So you figure shipping, taxes, the whatever other additional hardware I need is probably gonna be a $500 project. I don't know if I really want to do that, but I might. But I think at this point, I think I'm pretty happy with how it turned out from here. And I'll do a video on the final iteration of this bike later on. But yeah, nice little modification if you can get the seat. Hopefully, since riding season's coming up, hopefully Husqvarna will get a little bit better about getting these Ergo seats into production and getting them out there for everybody to buy. But yeah, thanks so much for joining me. Appreciate it. Short little video today, but hopefully it helps somebody. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.